What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about how to get a free ray gun schematic in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, some brand new discoveries, plus even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and also as a reminder, we got plenty of brand new content going up over on detonated.com, expanding on all the coverage you're seeing here on the channel, just in the form of articles on the website, and plenty of tweets, of course, every single hour on Detonated's Twitter. Let me know down in the comments, though, how are you guys feeling about Modern Warfare 3 Zombies thus far? Are you a fan of the whole Outbreak DMZ hybrid that this mode is? Like I said before, if you go into this mode knowing that it's not round-based, nor is it trying to be, there's plenty to enjoy when it comes to the different aspects of the gameplay, the narrative. I think there's quite a bit out there for even the hardcore zombie fans that have been playing ever since World at War. But with that being said, in terms of wonder weapons here in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, you're obviously where you can pull them from the mystery box, and that could be tough to do. I think it's easier to pull these from the box the longer you're in the game for, so as your timer gets lower and lower while you're in game, it means the rarity in the mystery box also increases, so there's a higher chance you can pull weapons from it. But also, spinning the mystery box towards the medium or high threat zones could also give you a better chance of pulling these wonder weapons. I've definitely seen these weapons pulled out very early on in a game, so yeah, it happens. I actually haven't gotten a chance to use the new Scorcher yet, which seems exciting, but we of course already know about the ray gun and even the Wunderwaffle. We've been using them for years, but if you guys out there don't want to just use the mystery box to pull these wonder weapons, there's also acquisitions and schematics. Now, acquisitions, as you're probably aware, are temporary upgrades. We find them around the environment. They're things that you can stash in your bag and bring into your next infill, whether it's an ammo mod, an ether tool, a perk, but you can even find acquisitions for wonder weapons, and they're incredibly rare. We'll get back to that in a second, but there's of course schematics, right? Permanent upgrades or permanent abilities and items that you can bring from game to game, obviously taking the cooldown into effect. There are indeed schematics for wonder weapons, meaning that if you find the schematic, it means you always have a wonder weapon in your gear. However, there's a catch. There is a 48-hour cooldown. When you go ahead and use a wonder weapon schematic, you'll never lose the schematic from your inventory, but you can only use that once every 48 hours. And I'm sure they'll make adjustments in the future to that, but yeah, you guys probably are already aware that with acquisitions, they're one-time use items. Schematics are permanent though. Hopefully that's clear, just to get that out the way. But if you guys are looking for how to find wonder weapon acquisitions or schematics, it's important to make sure that you're regained and prepared for what we're about to talk about. So if you want to spawn in with good loot, whether that's crystals for pack-a-punch, ether tools for weapon rarity, perks, if you want to do that, this makes this process hell of a lot easier. If not, refer to my solo guide, which is coming out in the next couple of days, which we'll talk more about a good solo strategy if you're not playing with any friends. But if you guys are playing with friends, then you guys can work together to do contracts, side objectives, get your points, and upgrade your arsenal before doing some of these difficult tasks. So the first area that I am a big fan of are the infested strongholds. It could be a bit frustrating with the amount of enemies that do spawn from them, but upon completing an infested stronghold, there's actually quite a few chests that will be in this specific building, wherever you're doing the stronghold at, and there is a decent chance you can find some high rarity loot in here. I think this is a good regain opportunity altogether, but definitely have heard of people finding wonder weapon acquisitions, not necessarily the schematics, the permanent ones, but definitely wonder weapon acquisitions. Now, if you guys go out there and do some contracts, you're obviously aware that there is a reward portal at the very end of doing that contract. If you can do a ton of contracts in a single game, there is a chance that one of those reward portals will also drop you a wonder weapon acquisition, possibly even a schematic. It's of course purely up to RNG here, but that reward portal is very important because it could have some juicy stuff that you're probably looking for. Now I'm gonna put some footage on screen in about a minute of some other zombie creators that have went ahead and done this next method to get their wonder weapon acquisitions or schematics. So this involves going to a fortress. In order to go to a fortress, you have to first go to a mercenary camp around the map and find a stronghold keycard. It'll be in a guaranteed chest in the camp upon killing all the AI. You can also purchase a stronghold keycard for about 2,000 points. You can find the stronghold keycards at any of the buy stations, and this will obviously save you some time instead of going ahead and going to the mercenary camp at the start of your game. And once you go to a stronghold, clear out all the enemies, and upon doing that, there'll be a safe that you can loot similar to DMZ, and inside will be a fortress keycard. Once you have a fortress keycard, you have to go to that Disney castle icon on the map. It's usually in the same location in every match that you play, and once you're at a fortress, this is tough. So if you guys can assimilate with more players, or if you guys are just decked out to the max, you're gonna wanna make sure that you guys have good team coordination and utilize all your equipment properly, because your armor plates are gonna be shredding like paper. It is that difficult. The AI is very buffed, probably on par with how difficult the AI could be over in DMZ. There's gonna be a helicopter shooting at you, sentry guns placed down. The AI is all over the place. They'll be one-tapping you across the map. You got snipers in nest everywhere. This could be tough. Take your time with it, but the more players, the better. If you have precision airstrikes, other kill streaks that you can utilize, definitely go ahead and take out the enemy with all that equipment. You wanna use that keycard to go into a certain building, and watch out for riot shielders and shotgunners. They're very frustrating, but as you make your way upstairs, there'll be plenty of traps waiting for you. We're talking proximity mines, suppression mines, trophy systems. It is ridiculous. ridiculous. So going into this on solo is not for the faint of heart. Shout out to my buddy Taco who actually managed to do that and sent over some clips that I'll put on screen as well. But upon completing the fortress and taking down the boss that's in this room, there will be a reward portal that spawns in, similar to the reward portals that spawn in for regular contracts. And there is a decent chance in that reward portal there could be a wonder weapon acquisition or even a wonder weapon schematic. They could be there. Now, like I said, there is footage on YouTube of other zombie creators managing to pull the wonder weapons out of this reward portal. I'm gonna assume it's pretty rare. I think I've heard rumors they've upped the rarity of these wonder weapon acquisitions. So if you guys manage to pull a wonder weapon out of a fortress, let me know down below in this video's comments. But of course, you could also just find wonder weapons in random loot chests. It's possible that you could find a wonder weapon acquisition or even the schematic just by looting random chests around the environment. It is possible, but with how rare the RNG seems to be, I think it'll be quite some time before players out there generally start compiling these. The schematics are obviously great because they're permanent and you'll always have them in your inventory. You can only use them every 48 hours, sure, but you have that forever on your account. Acquisitions, however, are those one-time uses. So if you manage to find a wonder weapon acquisition, you're going to want to save that for time of need, whether it's when you're going into a boss fight, whether it's for doing an eventual Easter egg. So be very careful with how you use these wonder weapons if you do end up finding them. Now, another strategy I heard about in regards to pulling wonder weapons from the reward portals or just finding them in general is going ahead to the high threat zone on the map and doing as many contracts as you can. And there is a decent chance that there could be a wonder weapon in that reward portal. Now, something that we've been doing is getting decked out, going into tier 3 or the high threat zone, I should say, and looking for as many bounty contracts as we can. There's a decent chance that it'll spawn a abomination as your bounty, but I know we've had more RNG with the mimic or the mangler being the bounty. Don't think it really matters, but I've seen some people out there pull ray guns and wunderwaffles from killing the abomination. I mean, there's an abomination that's walking around, the mega one, and upon destroying him, he'll drop you some good loot. Sometimes you spend 20-30 minutes trying to kill him and he only drops an ether tool, but there is a chance he drops a wonder weapon. However, the bounty bosses, of course, do spawn in those reward portals upon completing the contract, so there's a good chance you can get something right there. There's also a mystery box in the high threat zone, so if you guys can manage to spin that without getting hit too much by the transit super sprinters, might be able to find a wonder weapon that way. Now, something we noticed, which you guys can farm if you guys want to test your luck with getting wonder weapon drops after killing mega abominations, is jumping onto a nearby rooftop, and for whatever reason, sometimes the zombies will get stuck. They won't be able to detect you on one of the rooftops, and the abomination even gets stuck, allowing you to just peacefully go ahead and take them down, especially if you don't have the best weaponry. So if you guys want to avoid getting hit by zombies while taking out the mega abomination, definitely try this out. It's clearly a bug, but I'm sure it'll be patched really soon. However, feel free to take advantage of this while it is still available. But going into the high threat zone isn't easy. I mean, you really have to be prepared, have stamina up, have max upgraded weapons, have good rarity loot, because you're barely going to be able to do any damage to the zombies or the abomination if you guys are just not prepared. So be very careful if you're going into this high threat zone to try to scavenge some wonder weapon acquisitions. They're possible, they're real, they're just very rare, and you want to be prepared for everything that's coming your way in the high threat zone if you guys are going to stay here for a while. Now, the cool thing is that there's an Act 3 mission called Confrontation, and it actually rewards you with 2 wonder weapons by doing the mission. So first off, you have to actually exfil with the Wunderwaffle schematic, so it's a guarantee you can get the schematic from this mission unless you got it prior through random RNG. And then on top of that, by actually completing this mission, you'll get a ray gun acquisition, which is of course just a one-time use, but might as well have that in your inventory for time of need, of course. So that's a cool way to get your hands on both the Wunderwaffle and the ray gun guaranteed as you progress through Act 3 of the MW3 zombie mission. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on how you get your hands on free wonder weapons here in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies? We of course have the mystery box, acquisitions, and schematics, all giving you the ability to find a ray gun, Wunderwaffle, and even the Scorcher. But as of now, it doesn't look like there is a way to get a Scorcher schematic. I'm sure there probably is one, or it's going to be added in later, but you could still find Scorcher acquisitions randomly in loot. Just to make that clear real quickly, but really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.